With YouTube attacking alternative media, please consider supporting the channel via Patreon for just $1 per month. Link below. John Cena as Duke Nukem. This is a story that came out a couple days ago, and it was on the docket to be talked about, and then I kept forgetting, which is weird because I'm a pretty big Duke Nukem fan. I'm a child of the 90s, man. I'm a child of the 90s. My job when I was a kid was to play as many video games as possible. So I played a lot of Commander Keen and a lot of Duke Nukem. But it wasn't until Duke Nukem 3D that, oh man, oh boy, that game, oh man, I felt embarrassed to play that game sometimes simply because of like the nudity in it. I was all like, oh, well, I mean, they had pasties on, but I was like throwing bills at them strippers because I was a teenager. I had hormones. Anyway, John Cena in talks to star as Duke Nukem. If anyone could do it, if anyone in Hollywood could, I think, play that role, I think John Cena is probably the best. I've seen some people suggest like The Rock, and like, no, because The Rock wouldn't be Duke Nukem, right? The Rock would be Dwayne Johnson as Duke Nukem as The Rock is what it would be, and I think Cena could probably play the part pretty well. I think for comedic chops. There was Trainwreck he was in, the Judd Apatow movie, which is like a comedy drama. But then also with Blockers coming out here pretty soon, I think that will be an opportunity for us to see him as a comedy actor and see how he does. It says John Cena is getting ready to shoot up some aliens. The wrestler turned actor is in negotiations to star in Duke Nukem, a big screen adaptation set up at Paramount of the popular video game franchise, featuring a politically incorrect action hero. Yeah, it's been 6 years since Duke Nukem Forever was released, and that game got a lot of flack when it came out. Like, that game got a great deal of flack when it came out, and honestly, I really liked it. I had more fun playing Duke Nukem Forever than I did Portal 2, which to some is sacrilege. I understand that, but at the same time, I just really seem to like it. Now it says here, Platinum Dunes, a company run by Michael Bay, Andrew Foreman, Brad Fuller, will produce. Crap, Michael Bay's on it. Okay, maybe that's not so bad. The first Turtles movie, Michael Bay was a producer on, and the first Turtles movie was pretty boss. I liked it. I haven't seen Out of the Shadows. I need to, but I haven't seen it yet. No director is on board at this stage. A search for a writer will begin soon to develop a script for what is intended to be a starring vehicle for Cena. How would you even make how would they even do the script? What would you do in that one? I don't even know what kind of story they would tell. I mean, the story it'd be just him killing aliens and trying to get a blowjob, essentially. The Nukem video games follows a muscular adventure. The muscular adventures of the titular protagonist, who is initially a mashup of action hero tropes. The cigar-chomping figure has been fighting aliens in order to save planet Earth since 1991, when the first game was released. The project was previously set up at Dimension Films, but after the rights lapsed, Paramount picked them up from Gearbox Software, the company behind the game. Gearbox. The thing is, part of me doesn't want this to exist simply because I don't want Randy Pitchford to get anything. I don't want him to have any bit of success. But at the same time, I like Duke Nukem, so I'd be okay to watch it. Platinum Dunes is one of the companies behind the Purge action franchise and has produced the Ninja Turtle movies for Paramount. It has next the John Krasinski directed horror movie A Quiet Place, which looks like an interesting film. Cena has quietly made Paramount his de facto movie home, having appeared in the studio's Daddy's Home 2, which grossed over $100 million domestic. He's also set to appear in Bumblebee, the studio's Transformers spinoff, which Bay produced. Now, here's the thing. They would probably try to make this movie PG-13. I don't even want to say it. I don't even want to say it out loud. That's horrible. I don't even want to say it. PG-13 Duke Nukem? No. Gotta be hard R, man. It's gotta be hard R. It's gotta be like Ash versus Evil Dead levels of blood. Just buckets of blood and slime and goo and pee and poo and probably a little bit of jism just for good taste. But no, seriously, like, this is nothing but violence incarnate, and that's okay. That's okay. So I'm really wondering how they're going to do it. Are they going to take the story from Duke Nukem Forever and just have it be like, pig aliens come to Earth and it just ends up taking over, and Duke has to fight his way to the alien mothership and take it out? That seems like the most standard, straightforward adventure. Or ultimately, they're probably going to play on the damsel and the stress trope, I would argue. you know, Duke's girlfriend is captured, or some cheerleaders he was trying to bone was captured. You know, and that's his whole thing, to go back and get him back, with a whole bunch of one-liners and nudity along the way. I'm really hoping we get a solid movie out of this. I don't know if we are. I just hope that whatever Michael Bay and company come up with, that it's that, you know, hey, they can now do aliens, by the way. They can now do aliens. That was a big thing with Turtles. They tried to say the Turtles were aliens. They can now, in fact, do aliens, and that's all right. So maybe we'll get something good out of this. I don't know about you. I personally want some hardcore, raunchy bro humor, right? I feel like where we currently are right now in terms of Hollywood and comedies, or action comedies, is they play it too safe because they don't want to offend. They're afraid of offending people. And to that, man, no, screw that. Duke Nukem is not about playing to your sensibilities. Duke Nukem is not about playing it safe. Let him go crazy. Let him go cray-cray, as the young teens would say, and get us a movie that is so violent, so depraved, so disgusting. It can only have the Duke Nukem name. Of course, it won't make any money, but they'll at least have tried. I would like to see it. I'm on board. I think Cena could pull it off. But they'd have to dub in John St. John's voice after everything. They'd have to dub it after everything.